How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. We had quite the day inside of the market. And also, I wanted to send a big time shout out to one of the members in the Discord by Hazem. He crushed it, making over 100% gain on his options. He was scalping, going in and out, and so forth. So, again, if you want to be a part of the Discord and get in on these plays with us, I highly suggest you guys check out the link. But aside from all of that, I was telling you guys, load up on Lucid when it was in the $16 range. Whether you're looking for a swing trade or for a long-term investment, of course, if you were able to go along with that advice, of course, this is not financial advice, you'd be smiling just like myself right now because you are up well over 100% on your position. I won't waste any more time. I'll talk about Lucid in this video, so let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, and what does it look like in the bullish case scenario and as well as in the bearish case scenario. I want to make sure you're prepared on both ends, whether you're in this for the short or for the medium or even for the long term. This is very crucial due to the fact we did end up seeing some strong price action. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We want to know, have institutions been loading up on shares by taking a look at those filings? And then, of course, as far as for the short interest, it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. This is very key, and this is why I'm sharing it. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. What we want to know, what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid Group. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $35.48, being up 31.31%. On the low, it tested $28.08, and then on the high, testing $39.78. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 372.828 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 61.644 million shares. So one thing you could see right away, when you get this kind of volume coming through Lucid, you're going to see strong moves to the upside. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, we could see from the RSI down below, it is right around 79.45. So what this tells you right away, it is in the overbought territory. And then when we take a look at the moving averages on the chart, you can see we have strength above the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So looking very bullish here. So yes, we did end up having a strong run up, and we hit resistance right at $39.78 on the day. I'm not too surprised about this because keep in mind, there were many who were holding Lucid at a lot higher ranges and they were selling off, right? So this is why, unless the volume was going to continue in regards to buying pressure, it would have been a very difficult task for us to get past 40. And I do believe if we would have been able to get past 40, we would have easily gotten to around right here at $43.95, as you guys can see. Now, what I want to see from Lucid, I want to see us actually hold up the $30 level. That would be the most preferable situation here, because I feel if we could hold 30 and we end up having more catalysts that are coming out and so forth, it will get us past this $40 resistance. Another thing that I want to bring up as well, when I was doing videos on Lucid, I told you guys, if you believe in the long-term prospects or if you're looking for a quick trade opportunity, was the load up when it was in the $16 range. So I know many of you sent me messages saying, oh my gosh, have you seen Lucid? The stock is gone up this much since you mentioned it. And this is why I always say maximize your entries. But for the most part, what I want to see from Lucid is hold up that $30 level, and let's see how it turns out going into next week. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So as you can see here, for October the 28th, we have a lot of closed positions here. So what does this mean? looks like these institutions missed out on the run that we ended up having today. All jokes aside, again, these filings were also done way in the past. It wasn't done the day of. Now, when we take a look at what was going on for October the 26th, we have Fidelity NASDAQ Composite Index Fund that went in with just over 895,000 shares. And we also do see here Fidelity NASDAQ Comdex Index tracking stock with, just under 300,000. And we also have Harrell Insurance Investment and Financial Advisors going in with just over 20,000 shares. So again, we do have some institutions that have been showing interest. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 33.60%. And then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 9.6 million shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.7 million, updated 10 minutes ago. And then for the short ball free rate, it is at 0.52%. As we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 26th, it was 29.33. And then for the close of the 27th, it was 33.60. So shorts were increasing their positions. So when the numbers come out later on in the evening, I'm going to be very curious to see if that short volume ratio goes up. But one thing that is very clear though, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential, and this is why. When you have a lot of buying pressure and volume coming into the stock, you can see some strong moves to the upside like we saw today. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 3,106, and then on the outflow, it was 2,953. So we ended up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, you can see on the large, it was 20.69, and this is in the millions. Also on the medium, it was 1,574, and then on the small, it was 1,511. When we take a look at what happened on the outflow side on the large, it was 6.25. On the medium, it was 1,514, and then on the small, it was 1,433. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, October the 28th, being at 14.44 million. That is crazy. We're going to go and actually analyze these numbers. So as far as what happened on the small scale side, there was a lot of buying on the retail side, which is a small scale, but at the same time, there was a lot of outflows. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was due to the fact that there were many bag holders that were in Lucid when it was at a higher price. So they saw the opportunity, hey, to start selling out of my position. So of course, when we take a look at the medium side, very similar to what we're seeing on the small side as well. You can see on the medium it was 1,574, and then on the other side for the outflow was 1,514. So yes, there was a lot of buying, but there was also a lot of selling and as well as profit taking. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large scale, this is where I find it to be very important here, because what we know as far as large scale orders, it does show us that this is potentially institutional activity. And that is a big difference, 20.69 million versus 6.25 million. So I'm going to assume without even looking at, since institutions were loading up on shares, as far as for the turnover ratio, it should not be that high whatsoever. So let's go check it out right now. So for the turnover ratio, what we have right here is at 23.23%. So of course, that is not too bad whatsoever. Yes, there are a lot of day traders that were inside of this play taking advantage of that price action. And of course, many would. We did that inside of the Discord as well. But one thing to be aware of, there's also many who decided to hold their shares upon purchasing it. So knowing that, this is why I say if you're in this play for the long-term prospects, things are continuing to look good from what I'm seeing. And as far as from a swing trading perspective or from a momentum trading perspective, of course, you should have taken profits already. Let's be honest here. But if you want to stick inside of this play, then of course, things could end up working out for you as far as seeing some more movements in the price for the short term. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid Group, it was an exciting day inside of the market. Let's be honest here. Like I was saying before previously, if you were interested in this play and you were watching my videos, I was saying to load up when it was in the $16 range, even in the $17 range. Under $20, you really can't go wrong. And a lot of people gave me hate for that, saying, Dre, why are you telling people to buy Lucid under 20? You're a hater. Trader, it's worth more than $20. I'm like, what is the issue? You want to make sure that you have a low cost, because the lower your cost, the more you're able to maximize your profits. Or even for the most part, if you see this as an investment, just like myself, you're able to get in early. And now we ended up getting to a high of $39.78. So you have made more than 100% on your position. That is crazy. That is something to be excited about. Go ahead and make sure, as far as what your game plan is going to be, are you going to be continuing to hold? Are you going to look to say, well, you know what, I'm going to be taking some profits? I know some people did take some profits, and due to the fact of them doing this, they're just saying, hey, I can see Lucid making another pullback. This is a growth company at the end of the day, and they are going to have their ups and downs. So taking some profits here at these higher levels is not a bad thing to do if that's something that you are considering. Also, taking a look at Fintel, this play does continue to have short squeeze potential. And I do know for a fact, and you guys can let me know inside of the comment section, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up going up when we get those numbers later on in the evening. So with all of that said, this is why I say patience is very key in maximizing your entries. And if you're watching other YouTube videos that are telling you, hey, it doesn't matter what price you're buying Lucid at right now, go ahead and buy it anyways, stop listening to them. They do not want you maximizing your gains if they are telling you to buy a stock at any price that you see. I want to make sure I emphasize that, because entries are so important. The last thing that you want to do is become a bag holder. So for anyone that believes in the long-term prospects of Lucid, and if you are thinking about taking a position right now, I would hold off on that. And I don't care how much hate I get about that, but I want to make sure you guys are approaching this the right way and you're making sure you're being patient. I want to make sure I emphasize that over and over again. Also, let's talk about some of the catalysts that went down that really got this stock going. First and foremost, we got a big time update from Joe Biden in regards to the infrastructure plan. We know that Lucid could benefit hugely from this. And then secondly, as far as for the Lucid Dream, the cars are going to be available on this Saturday. So congratulations to those that were able to get themselves a Dream Edition. Very exciting. And then plus on top of that, knowing that, hey, you're going to get these cars out before October the 30th. Definitely a good look. And as far as for the operational side, things are looking good for Lucid. And one more thing to add, of course, Saudi Arabia is saying, hey, they want to have a plant set up. So I think that's a really good look due to the fact that they were one of the investors that got into Lucid early, right? I think it was back in 2018. So knowing that they invested in this company, I think it'd be a really good look. I know I said that before already, for them to say, you know what, yeah, we'll open up a plant down there, but I would make sure of the fact and make sure it really works alongside with their goals and execution, because at the end of the day, I feel this is a company that has a lot of potential, and in regards to how they're going to carve themselves out inside of the EV market, things are looking good. The demand is there, the interest is there, and I'm going to be looking forward to it, and this is why I'm going to continue to be a shareholder. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure you guys use this video to add to your homework and as well as your due diligence. And of course, this is not financial advice either. You got to go out there and make sure you're making a decision that is right for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.